where a couple friends watch movies of old and aim to figure out if the reviewers were spot on or a little off. I'm Mike.
And I'm Tristan.
And this week, we're talking about Troy. I really wanted to give it that space.
Needed it. It needed it. Because that's about as much space as it gives every scene.
Hey. Amen. Tristan.
Hi.
What's your bright spot?
Bright spot. I had some delicious ice cream recently.
Ooh.
And there's a really good ice cream shop that's a little ways down the road, but love to go there. They have some really good flavors. How about you, Mike?
Gosh, bright spot. You know what? I think this is a bright spot, and it is. Did I already say that I had a goal about like losing weight? Have I ever said that?
You may have mentioned it a while ago.
I don't know if I mentioned it on the show, but I turn 40 next year, and I want to be here for my kids as long as possible. So I am finally working hard to lose weight. I joined a gym, like one of those, like, I don't know if it's CrossFit, but they like run the exercises because I'm an idiot and I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the motivation or the desire to. And I've been going. This is my third week, so I've gone 11 times so far.
Mm-hmm.
I lost about 7 pounds.
Nice.
And I think my taste buds are changing.
Really?
For the better. Because I'm trying to like cut out some of the bad things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like drink less soda, blah, 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 blah. This or that or the other. And I started drinking like, you know, like the sparkling water stuff.
Uh-huh.
This stuff is so sweet. And I don't think I ever thought it was sweet before.
It's just it's the essence flavor. It's not like sugar or anything.
But it tastes like sugar.
Right.
And it's throwing me off, but like I feel good. I feel better. Here's my bright spot. I feel better.
That's good.
I feel better. I have more energy. I'm still stressed as fuck because I'm a teacher, but you know, I feel better. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So the reason I wanted to do Troy is because I don't know if anyone else is getting this in their algorithms. But I don't know if they're Gen Zers. I would assume they're certainly not millennials. But there are people who are like, did I end up sending you the comment that I saw, the post that I saw?
No, you had mentioned that there's something, but
okay.
I haven't seen anything.
And so on my feed, I'm just, there's been people who've been taking like clips or screenshots of movies and being like, and these are the kind of dynamic scenes that made this particular movie renowned. And, you know, that kind of fart sniffing. And this was one of the movies that they said. They were like gushing over it. And I could not for the life of me understand where this was coming from, but then maybe I was like, maybe I'm the one who's wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. And so I was like, we should watch it and see what happens. So with that said, Troy, directed by Wolfgang Petersen, screenplay by David Benioff, based on the Iliad by Homer. Posthomerica by Quintus Smyrnaeus. Something. The Trojan horse isn't in it's mentioned in the Iliad, but it's not like a feature in it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so they had to use references from other. It's so funny that they cited it.
Yeah.
I don't really think the Homer estate is going to make a big fuss about it. Produced by Wolfgang Petersen, Diane Rathbun and Colin Wilson, starring Brad Pitt, Eric Bana, Orlando Bloom, Diane Kruger, Brian Cox, Sean Bean, Brendan Gleeson, and Peter O'Toole. Cinematography by Roger Pratt. Edited by Peter Honess. Music by James Horner. Production companies: Warner Brother Picture, Radiant Picture Productions, Plan B Entertainment, Helena Productions, Latina Pictures, and Nimar Studios. Distributed by Warner Brothers. Released May 13th, 2004 in Cannes. Is it Cannes or Cans? Cans.
Cans.
May 14th, 2004 in the U.S. Oh, the next day.
Yeah.
Wow. Runtime 163 minutes, which is 2 hours and 43 minutes. Budget $175 million. Gross in the U.S. 133. Opening weekend 47 million. Worldwide almost $500 million.
Whoa.
Now, I will make a caveat.
A lot of dollars. Yeah.
Lot of dollars, but it's slightly less because from some sources there were that 175 was the initial budget. It quickly ballooned over 200 million because of a lot of crazy happenstance.
Extra stuff, yeah.
And so it's probably closer to 200 million. So it makes that $500 million. Like, it still made profit, but it's a bit less than maybe what the paperwork might say. Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, by the way, I looked it up because I was just, accuracy. It's just pronounced can. You don't pronounce the S.
Is it in France?
French.
Of course. What happens when you try to take a Greek epic poem that spans decades and compress it to, 3 weeks? The answer is, of course, the 2004 blockbuster hit, Troy. The Greeks, led by the imperial king Agamemnon, or, as his inner circles call him, William Stryker, and his brother Mad-Eye Moody, strike a peace deal with the Trojans, led by Prince Bruce Banner and Prince Legolas. On their voyage home, it is revealed that Legolas has wooed Moody's wife, Abigail Chase, and she has boarded on the ship back to Troy. Enraged, Moody asks Stryker to go to war with Troy, and Stryker agrees. The Greeks go to Troy, and with the leadership of the imaginary Tyler Durden, the Greeks fortify the beach and take over a temple. The Greeks bring a slave girl, Moira MacTaggart. Moody and Stryker go to confront Legolas and Banner. Legolas offers to fight to end the whole war. Stryker couldn't give a shit, but Moody convinces him to let him fight. Legolas is a bit of a weakling, which kind of makes, but doesn't fully work with the story. Anyway, he gets his ass beat and retreats to Banner. Moody is about to kill Legolas, but Banner stabs Moody, killing him and starting the war. Without the help of Tyler and his squad, Stryker and the Greeks must retreat. Stryker takes MacTaggart and from Tyler's tent to antagonize Tyler. Enraged, Tyler will not fight. Boromir, king of Ithaca, tries to convince Stryker to make amends and is able to get Stryker to loosen up a bit. Boromir talks to Tyler, but no Sean Beans.
So stupid.
That might be the dumbest joke I've ever written, but I really like it. The Trojans ambush the Greeks and get the upper hand. Banner is making headway when Tyler appears. Banner and Tyler fight, and Banner slits Tyler's throat, only to be revealed to be Tyler's little cousin, Sam Flynn from the Tron Legacy. Banner, distraught that he killed a boy, commands the Trojans to leave, and when Tyler finds out, he is pissed. He challenges Banner and kills him, and then drags his body like an asshole. That night, Banner's dad, Lawrence of Arabia, begs Tyler for Banner's body. Tyler agrees and frees MacTaggart, who he has fallen in love with. The Trojan horse thing happens, and then Troy is destroyed. Everyone dies except for Legolas, who is suddenly a really good archer. And Abigail escapes with Tyler. Oh, and Abigail escapes, but Tyler, Stryker, and pretty much everyone dies. And then Boromir says some shit.
Recap!
I was gonna try to do like a really detailed recap, and I was gonna take it serious, and then I just started like I got like 3 paragraphs in, and I just got so fucking annoyed that I was like, no, never mind.
No.
All right,
I should have corrected you that it's Dr. Abigail Chase.
Son of a bitch. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Who was the
Rose Byrne?
Rose Byrne. That's who it was. Okay.
Yeah, she was MacTaggart was her character in X-Men First Class.
Yeah.
The answer was, what is X-Men First Class?
I was like, well, what's the... Yeah. Nice.
Tristan.
Yeah.
This movie came out a long time ago.
Long time ago. And a galaxy not so far away.
22 years ago. Almost on the money. A few weeks off. I will ask this because I feel like you have seen this. Did you watch this in theaters?
I have not seen this before.
Excuse me?
This was my first time seeing it.
Yeah. I did several double takes, triple takes, quadruple takes even. You had never seen this before?
Never.
Color be shocked. Huh.
I don't know how I've never seen this before, but
yeah, I saw
feel like
this in theaters.
At one point, it was on a TV somewhere, but never seen it.
I either saw this when it came out. I was 14.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably went to the theater by myself because we lived a mile maybe from the movie theater. So
You wouldn't have been 14 because I would have been 14.
Oh,
You would have
2004.
been,
I would have been 16.
yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking 2002 for whatever reason.
Yeah.
2004. Okay. So I would have been 16. I would have, yes, I definitely would have seen this in theater by then. What I was going to say was we lived really close to the theater. So when I was like 13, I used to scrounge all the quarters in our house. I would do anything I could to find money, short of asking my parents. And I would walk to the movie theater and I would just go watch a movie by myself because I was old enough to watch most of the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Was this, wait, hold on.
This one's R.
It's R? Then I had, so that's what I used to do. I'm pretty sure I saw this. No, I know I saw it in theater. The context of who I saw it with up in the air. For whatever reason, I didn't realize that this movie was rated R, but now it makes so much more sense. Because I'll tell you what, Ray is really into Greek mythology. And I thought this movie was PG-13. And I was like this close, so close to just being like, hey, you want to watch this movie with me? I'm glad I didn't do that.
Yeah.
So you had not seen it. I know I did. I can't remember how I felt about it when I watched. I don't think I liked it. Because I don't think I've ever had like a positive feeling about it. In that, I watched it in theaters. I have not watched it since then.
Okay.
So I watched this movie 22 years ago. That was it.
Yep.
So I didn't remember hardly any of it other than I was like,
yeah,
I don't think I like this movie. And we'll reveal at the end if that stayed or if it changed.
Yes, we will.
So Tristan, overall feelings on the film.
It is long.
I think we can get that out of the way. It's a long film.
Long.
And there's a director's cut that's like 40 minutes longer.
Even longer. It's already like close to 3 hours.
Yeah, the director's cut's like 3 hours and 20 minutes or something like that.
What does it add? There's like what more is there to add to this?
Gods.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's long and it feels unnecessary with how long it is.
Oh,
and yeah, like it could have been at least 40 minutes shorter.
Yeah.
Like I don't think we would have lost out on much with that. It's fine, but like I've seen better, like this time period. Like we've seen better stuff of it. We've seen better big battle movies, and we've seen better handsome men fighting each other. Maybe not more handsome, but definitely handsome men fighting each other better than this.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things that makes this movie kind of a disappointment is this is 2004. We have had, and yes, of course it wouldn't be accurate to the historical time period, Greek fighting, whatever it might be.
Mm-hmm.
But we had Phantom Menace.
Mm-hmm.
We had the other ones.
Uh-huh.
There was a lot of really good sword fighting in that.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't hire one of them
Right.
to like do it. This was 20th Century Fox, right? Is that what I said? Was this Warner Brothers? No, it was Warner Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was gonna say Star Wars. It was 20th Century Fox when those came out, and they could have cross pollinated. It would have been fine. So like the sword fights, just like some of it is interesting, but it's not really entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
And that would normally not be something that I like pivot an opinion on. But they did so much in the advertisement to make it seem like this is going to be entertaining fights.
Mm-hmm.
No, they were not entertaining.
Yeah, it was much more of a drama than a war.
Yeah,
movie,
it's not.
I guess
It isn't really an action flick.
Uh-huh. It's like it has action in it. I feel like there was not much in this. There's only one scene that I think that I was like, this is a good scene. This scene is worth every minute that I'm watching. Everything else was just like, this is fine. You're trying to be, this is from that era, from that decade of having period pieces that are the sword and sandal kind of thing. And it's trying to be those things. And I think I'm jumping ahead. I think it fails at every step of the way.
So some of the history I heard on this was that Petersen, the director, was originally offered Gladiator.
Interesting.
And after seeing how successful it was, he apparently, and I don't know if all of this is, verified, allegedly, he was quite upset by the fact that he missed that opportunity based off the success, but also you have to argue the fact you didn't direct that.
Successful. Yeah.
And so apparently he was regretful. And so when this was offered to him, he jumped at it. Now, again, I don't know how true that is. So let's just start jumping into it because Wolfgang Petersen, R.I.P. He did The Never Ending Story, Das Boot, or The Boat, which I believe is like it's got an 8.3 on IMDb. And he did Outbreak. He did Air Force One. Enemy Mine. This poster looks really familiar.
Which one? Enemy Mine?
Enemy Mine.
Oh.
Has Dennis Quaid in it. And
that alien looks like something else, but like familiar. Like maybe Last Starfighter? Is that what I'm thinking of? I don't know.
I don't know. I get what you're saying. It looks familiar, but it also.
But this movie does not look familiar at all.
One of the Blu-ray covers is the human and the alien like grabbing hands, like in shit.
Predator?
Predator.
Uh-huh.
And it just made me like, there's nothing funny about it, but it just, I just imagine the alien and Arnold and I'm blanking on the other Carl Winters. Is it Winters? Weathers. Carl Weathers, like the alien and and Dennis Quaid doing that, like reenacting that whole scene, like on the beach. And I'm like, I don't think that's right.
I don't think that's right. This is really interesting how many versions of Das Boot he made.
Yeah.
He made the movie, and then 4 years later, he directed a 3-episode miniseries.
I see it as, it is a TV
2 years later, he directed a 6-episode miniseries called The Boat. So that's interesting.
Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah. He also directed Air Force One.
Yeah, Air Force One, The Perfect Storm, and Poseidon. Oh, yeah. Poseidon has some of the most unceremonious deaths. Oh my gosh. And it has Richard Dreyfuss, Kurt Russell, Emma Rossum, Josh Lucas. Wow, they're in 2 movies together. Fergie. Anyway, and then let's grab let's see. Where is it? There we go. Director of photography Roger Pratt. Roger did 12 Monkeys, Chocolat, the 1994 Frankenstein. Oh, wow, this guy's done a lot, actually. Hold on. Let's he was the director of photography for the 1989 Batman.
Ooh.
So we've seen some of his work before.
Yeah. We didn't really talk about him, but
no. Well, we weren't. I don't think we were doing that fully.
No,
he did Monty Python's The Meaning of Life, Brazil. The Fisher King. Oh wow.
He did the 1989 or 1998 The Avengers, but not the Avengers.
No,
the
yeah.
Tomorrow Avengers, but with Sean Connery, Ralph Fiennes, and Uma Thurman.
Based on the 60s TV show.
Uh-huh.
He did 102 Dalmatians, Chocolat, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Inkheart, Dorian Gray, the 2010 Karate Kid. Interesting. So he's had some pretty successful films. Wait, did I don't think I did the scores right. Anyway, and then edited by Peter Honess. Peter Honess did LA Confidential, The Shadow, Poseidon, 2013's Romeo and Juliet, Words in Picture, Percy Jackson and the Olympians. I Love You, Beth Cooper, The Golden Compass. Aeon Flux. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Who are we talking about?
The Editor.
Okay.
And The Great, The Fast and the Furious. The Kid. Did we watch The Fast and the Furious?
Yeah.
Oh.
You forget?
Huh?
You forget that one?
A little bit. Oh, he edited Mr. Baseball.
Mr. Baseball?
Yeah.
Disney's The Kid?
Yeah. All right. So all of that to say that those are our three visuals here.
Visuales.
First, let me get the positive in. Some of the visual effects were really good.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the cityscape was very believable, even though some of it was still like, oh, that's CGI. It was believable enough to not like pull me out of the film.
Yeah.
So that aspect of the visuals, pretty good.
Yeah, and
Pretty
like
good.
the shot of when the Greek army is approaching the beach,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just that wide shot of all of the boats. That one, I was like, that's a pretty cool shot.
Yeah.
Just the way that they shot that one, and the way that they implemented the CG to add all the ships. That one stood out to me as a cool shot.
I think that overall visual effects were pretty dang good, and it deserves that credit for being pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about visuals as far as cinematography goes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily think that any of the cinematography was amazing.
No.
It was very neutral, which is crazy because I feel like some of the other stuff that he did was really interesting. Like there are some shots in Chamber of Secrets that are very, very interesting, but didn't really get it in this one. Visually, it just all the shots.
Yeah, it was very neutral, and then there was a couple of shots where I was like, this is very old cinema in the way that they shot this. That does not feel right for this movie.
It didn't like translate.
Yeah, it was like they did some zoom shots from one character to another, and it wasn't just like a rack focus or anything. It was like the camera was looking at one person and then slowly zoomed in to another person in the same shot, and it felt weird. Like it didn't feel natural, and it didn't feel very 2004, honestly.
Right.
So like there was a couple of shots like that just kind of stood out of like, it's not bad. It just doesn't fit the tone that this movie is trying to accomplish. This was also around that time where the shaky cam was becoming more popular. And so there was like a lot of that was happening. And I don't know, it wasn't bad. It just felt strange.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't enough of that kind of stuff to be like, this is the style that this movie is going for. It was like everything's normal, and then we're going to do this weird shot, and then everything's normal again.
Which I think then leads to editing and director in that the pacing of this movie sucks. It's rough.
Yeah.
There's so much dead time that is truly dead, because some of it, there's like an establishing shot, but then it just hovers over the establishing shot way too long.
Mm-hmm.
Or it has scenes where the actors are just there and yeah, they're acting, but that they really don't have any kind of action. There's no dialogue. There's no anything. It doesn't affect the story in any way, shape, or form, but it's there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah. And then there was a couple of shots where it was just like the scene was over and it just kind of sat there.
Yeah.
It was like, why are we looking at this random person? Or
right.
just like them looking into the like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no like John Williams soundtrack supporting it.
Uh-huh.
You know, Luke isn't looking at the two sons with
Yeah.
You know,
there's not a pensive moment happening.
Achilles isn't, thinking about anything.
Mm-hmm. It's dead space in there, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's padding. There's a lot of padding in this movie.
So much. Yeah.
Yeah. Editing wise, I feel like that falls into that, but I don't know if that's the editor's fault necessarily. It does feel like directorial choices.
Yeah, there's directorial choices. There was some of the fighting where they were like, hey, we want to show this spear in somebody's head. And their way of doing that was to do a quick cut where you see the action and then it cuts to like the spear. And it was just like, okay, like I can see what they're doing to make it my mind make the conclusion of what happened. But it's a very different technique than what we've seen now, where we like actually see it happening more.
Yeah, but there's a way to do it the old way that's effective.
Yeah,
a lot of it is not effective. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but there were some that were pretty effective.
Yeah,
like I'll admit, the first time that at the very beginning when Achilles comes out and he just like runs at the guy, dodges the spear, dodges the second spear, and then just like jumps and goes whap. Like that felt cool. Yeah. Every other time he did the jump and the side stab, I was like, I'm bored. This is dumb.
Yeah, and it really was one of those. The problem with these is you can't really you almost need something supernatural in it, because otherwise it's just like you can't spot a juke.
Yeah,
you can't. He's just juking. Like I don't know what you guys are doing. How have you not figured this out?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that initial fight was cool. It just they kept kind of repeating it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. So I guess that falls under it. Some of the choreography is meh. Some of it was okay, but okay. That first bit of choreography was really, really good. Mm-hmm. But if you recycle it throughout the film, then it doesn't look good. Mm-hmm. And this movie had a lot of that.
So much, yeah. Yeah, and it kind of felt like, yeah, they kept playing the five same tricks that they had, and they I don't know, it felt like they started off strong, and then they just got a little bit lazy with it.
Yeah,
because they were like, hey, we gotta pull the audience in, so we're gonna make these first couple of scenes really great, and then they just kind of phoned it in for the rest of it. Like, it's better than some choreography that we've seen, but it's also was like, this is pretty generic fighting?
I don't know what order it was in filming, but that scene where Achilles fights the giant guy,
Bulgarius.
Brad Pitt actually tore his Achilles.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. If I remember correctly, I think they had filmed a little bit of the Eric Bana fight scene. I think the initial challenge, they filmed all that, and then they filmed the big giant fight scene, and then he did the jump and he tore his Achilles. And then they had to take like a big break. And then right when they got back, they had to film the Eric Bana fight scene. So
between the
yeah,
the two of
so
them.
it's just like rough.
Yeah. No, I was looking up to see how long it was, but yeah, he tore his, which is the irony.
Yeah. Apparently he was really embarrassed by it because of the irony of it. Alrighty.
That's funny.
So not the best direction, not the best cinematography, good visuals, editing not awful, but there was definitely some seeds that became glaring. And then the choreography starts off strong and then kind of loses its mustard. So let's keep rolling. We're rolling. This is the first time ever we're rolling.
We're just rolling.
Rolling. So James Horner
sat in the corner
with the I hate myself. So, James Horner, God damn it. He was actually the second choice for the film. Apparently, they had hired another composer and they did some screen tests. And the screen test did quite poorly. And I don't know if it was Petersen or if it was just the studio. I don't know who it was. But basically what happened was, instead of saying, "Hey, edit this. Let's change it up," they fired him the day they got the test screening results back.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
And then they brought James Horner in, and I believe, if I remember correctly from the thing I read, he had to get it done in 6 weeks.
Oh,
yeah. So that's why a lot of it is very just like percussion driven or very like kind of empty.
Yeah, that explains why it feels just like meh. Like it's super basic, and honestly, you could put that to any movie, and it would feel like it fits just as well. Like it did not feel like it added anything
right
unique to this movie. And there were times where it's like, this song does not make, like, the music that's playing right now does not make sense for what's happening on screen.
Apparently the director's cut has some of the original music and actually just like music from other movies, from like 2001 A Space Odyssey and I think even Gladiator, maybe. He just like put it in and somehow they allowed it.
Weird.
So here's some of it. So the film begins with a a preface, a prelude that kind of gives us the background. And this is 3,200 years ago. So synths there. I'm going to fast forward. Yeah, so during this music, there's just text explaining everything. Okay, very, very basic. Troy. Like fitting.
That part, the horns, that's anything.
Yeah.
That's anything and nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. It's very... That was a different song, by the way. It sounded like the 60s. Yeah, that was a
that
different...
one was a different song than the one before.
Yeah. I just realized that. I was like, wait, these sound really similar. This is the Temple of Poseidon. I know. Greece, you know, it's ancient, and the music doesn't feel ancient. It feels like the Mummy, like 1920s adventurer, not.
It feels like Indiana Jones just fell upon but not Indiana Jones, like off-brand Indiana Jones just found something amazing.
Yeah. Nebraska Adams, you know?
Nebraska. Tennessee.
No, Tennessee's kind of a cool, like that would be a cool name. It needs to be like a dumb name. Who names their kid Nebraska?
I don't want to, but I kind of want to see the scenes that in the extended version he used the other songs, just to be like, what did you do here?
Right. Apparently, I guess I didn't watch the credits. Josh Groban, I think, did the credits.
Oh, yeah, I didn't watch through the... There he is. That's our boy.
I feel like this is trying to do Prince of Egypt.
Yeah.
Hold the phone. Hold on.
Do it.
Okay. Remember, I will still be here as long as you hold me in your memory. Remember, when your dreams have ended, time can be transcended. Just remember me. I am the one star that keeps burning so brightly. It is the last light to fade into the rising sun. I'm with you whenever you tell my story, for I am all I've done. I get what they're trying to say, but it's lame. I am that warm voice in the cold wind that whispers. And if you listen, you'll hear me call across the sky. As long as I still reach out and touch you, then I will never die. But if you're dead, you can't reach out and touch. What? Who touches stuff in the skies?
The spirit.
I mean, in the original Iliad, there is a ghost. So
Who?
I think it's supposed to be Achilles.
Who's singing this?
Achilles.
Achilles. Achilles.
Tyler Durden.
What? No, I was trying to make a joke about something about Achilles, but I ran out of mustard. All right.
I ran out of crackers. I don't know.
Ran out of beans. Sean Beans.
Call back.
Hey.
Yeah, music lackluster. I'm sorry. I feel bad, but it was whatever. Alrighty. Let's get going. So, Achilles, played by Brad Pitt.
Yes.
So when we said Fight Club, did we say anything specific about Brad Pitt's acting?
I don't remember. I feel like were
we positive?
I feel like we were positive about that.
Okay, he's dog shit in this.
He's
so bad.
Horrendous.
This man should never ever do Shakespeare.
This made me question if I like Brad Pitt.
Right?
Like, it's bad.
Every time he talked, I was like, oh, fuck.
Uh-huh.
Woof.
Wolfgang.
It is noted he did reveal in 2022 that he was contractually obligated to do this film. It was not necessarily his choice. But he was Wolfgang Petersen's number one choice.
Huh.
Eric Bana, Hector, was not his number one choice. But after he saw him shirtless, he was like, God damn. But apparently, once he saw how buff he was like, yeah, maybe this will work.
Yeah, you and me both.
This is a weird thing. And Pitt. Usually it tells you. I don't know. He's 62 years old. Yeah, it makes sense. All right, he is 5'11", so he's not short. But for whatever reason, every time he was naked, he felt short. And I know that that's not like a real critique of anything. I just noticed it. I think it's his body proportions. Like,
maybe
he has like a really long torso, I think. So his height, when people have long legs, they seem tall. And when people have really long torsos, even though they're tall, because their legs are shorter, they don't look as tall.
They feel smaller. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
There's a scene where he gets up, he's sitting down, and then he gets up and he like leans against the post. And then he's like, if I blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't remember what he says.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the stupidest. Like, whoever directed the, like, where people are going in this scene, like, this is a bad move right here.
Right. All right. Hold on. Okay. No.
I don't know what you're doing.
No.
He's very pretty, but his wig is kind of bad.
I think is that a wig?
It felt like a wig.
I thought it was just his hair, but I was like, I don't really like it.
I mean, maybe it was his hair, and then sometimes it was a wig, or maybe it was his hair with some like extensions. But like,
I think it was his hair with his extensions. Yeah, just some of the choices they did with his hair was quite interesting. Like the hairdo itself.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Combination of natural hair and extensions.
Here's what
and high-end pieces.
And what?
High-end hair pieces.
Oh, okay. I kind of had the opposite, where the more I had to look at him, the more I was like, man, I don't like how this guy looks. And
honestly, I agree. At the beginning, I was like, yeah, he's like great, a pretty guy. But then as it went on, I was like, he's fine.
Yeah. Look, I'm an idiot.
You're an idiot.
Yeah. And I,
that's from the Grinch.
Yeah. Oh, that's from the 2001 film, Ron Howard film, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Thank you for joining my TED Talk. I am a male, a cis man married to a cis woman. I really don't have any eggs in this basket. But the more I was looking at him, the more I'm like, I don't think this man is attractive. And then there would be shots of Eric Bana, and I'm like, apparently I like bearded men. Because Eric Bana is a fine-looking man. Orlando Bloom. God, the fact that they got Sean Bean to be Odysseus is crazy.
Hey, we watched a movie where Sean Bean wasn't the bad guy and wasn't killed.
Yeah, and
he survived this movie.
We'll talk about him more. Okay. Okay. So the reason I'm pulled up a video, and this is when he being Achilles saves Rose Byrne. And I just want to hear some of the dialogue between them.
Once you fight them, you have courage.
To fight back when people...
Oh, that was the thing. Sometimes he had a British accent and sometimes he didn't.
Uh-huh. He did like this weird mix.
There was no consistency whatsoever. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Attack me. Dog has that kind of courage.
He's such a fucking child. He throws a towel at her.
You think you're so different from 1,000 others? Soldiers understand nothing but war. Peace confuses them.
And you hate these soldiers.
I pity them.
Trojan soldiers died trying to protect you. Perhaps they deserve more than your pity.
Why did you choose this life?
What life?
To be a great warrior.
I chose nothing. I was born, and this is what I am. And you? Why did you choose to love a god? I think you'll find the romance one-sided.
Alrighty. So there's just something about none of his lines were delivered in a way that was compelling.
Yeah.
It's just really outside the realm of what he should be doing.
Yeah, the way that he delivered them was just kind of like straightforward. And that line is a joke, but it does not deliver as a joke.
Right. Yeah. It's
and like
too serious. He's taking himself too seriously. And then on that note, yeah, they're going to change stuff in this film that differs from the Iliad, that differs from the source material. Absolutely. No problem. Whatever. There is a little bit too much modernity kind of etched into this. And one of them being, it's okay if there was no supernatural stuff. But the fact of the matter is, in this time, there would have been no one who would have been openly atheist.
Mm-hmm.
And Achilles and Hector both are quite apparently skeptical at worst and full-fledged atheist at best, or the other way around.
Yeah.
And that kind of pulls you out of the story a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think if he was angry with the gods because he feels like the gods have wronged him, that's different from what is happening here.
Yeah, at one point, I think it's in that scene, he says that because he doesn't believe in them because he's seen them.
Yeah.
Or he doesn't fear them because he's seen them or something.
Right.
And it's like, what do you mean in this version
right.
of what you're telling us?
Right.
Because are we acknowledging that they're real in this world? Or are we saying that, like, you've seen them and what they really are is just statues? Like, if that's what he says, then I can understand where he's coming from.
Right.
But for him to say that, and then from the mythology, for him to like actually have interacted with the guy, like, it's, I don't know.
Also a note, because we forgot to talk about David Benioff. He's the guy who wrote and showrunner for Game of Thrones. And apparently like butchered the end of it. He also did X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Oof.
That dog shit movie. He did Gemini Man. So not a person who has a lot of great writing credits. But one of the things that I thought was very funny was apparently Christopher Nolan was approached to direct this before Petersen, and he got about 5 pages into the script and was like, nope. And I think that a lot of the issues in this film is the screenplay. I think the things that they decided to change, I think you could tell this story in a way that honors the material. You could do it where it kind of displays the overarching themes. And you could have done it where there is no supernatural, because the fact of the matter is the Iliad is completely contingent on supernatural stuff. Like the gods play all the roles in the story. But you can tell this story without that. But making Achilles so hell-bent on not believing for whatever reason was too far.
Mm-hmm.
And even Hector, because Eric Bana played Hector, Prince of Troy. Is that his name? Hector? Am I right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So Hector, and Hector does die at the hands of Achilles. His body is mutilated, and Priam, the king of Troy, does go beg for Hector's body, and Achilles agrees, and that's actually where the Iliad ends. That is the conclusion to the Iliad, because through Priam's offer, ransom, whatever you want to call it, and ransom not in the like, I take this from you, but the how someone said it, a historian said it begins with a ransom ignored, and then a ransom delivered. It ends with an ransom delivered. And that's kind of the pivotal point of the story. Like, Helen being taken is a major part of the Iliad, and the fact that that is not the major focus for Agamemnon and Menelaus. Menelaus, like, you know, his honor is damaged, but ultimately it isn't like the true blue kind of motivation, not in the same way. And they could have still brought that together. So, like, not to get too into the weeds about it, Achilles doesn't want to go to war. That's his major motivation. And they like lean into that, but then in this, I'll be 100% honest, I don't fully grasp what his motivation is.
Right.
Like, his tiff with Agamemnon is like, it kind of works, but then it doesn't make sense. Because like, he doesn't stay true to anything he really says. So Achilles, there's one point where he's like, I want Agamemnon to beg for Achilles. And then Odysseus is like, hey man, right, you should really do this. It'd be great. You're gonna let these men down. You should do it. And he's like, nah, all right. You know, like, he really doesn't. There's no point in this film where Achilles like stands on his laurels, like, at all. Like, he does not hook in. He's easily persuaded to go any other direction.
Right.
And so it's hard to, I don't know, it's hard to really, one, it's hard to connect, of course, like, that's the easy one. It's hard to connect. But then two, it's hard to even just appreciate him as a character. Because the original Iliad, if my understanding is correctly, like, the whole thing is his wrath. So he's angry, and then the story ends because he is released from his wrath, from his own wrath. And in this one, I mean, his wrath doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. He just like falls in love with I'm gonna get her name right.
What's her face?
Briseus.
Briseus.
He fought. Another issue with this film, and I think even talking about characters, it fits in. This fucking timeline sucks. Like, I don't know how much time has passed anywhere in this film. There's a scene where Priam convinces Achilles to give him Hector, and then Achilles says the funeral games last in my country 12 days, and then Priam says that it's 12 days, but there's no indication that 12 days actually pass. It feels like it's like,
yeah, there's an on-screen text that says 12 days later.
oh really? They could have done that for so many things. But there was, I saw a quote from the writer or director, one of the two, that basically was like, because the Trojan War is like 10 years. If I'm not mistaken, it's about 10 years. This all happens
in a month.
At most, it feels like.
Yeah.
And that kind of hurts the story. That all of this chaos is happening within just a short period of time. And even how they kind of told the story with Helen and Menelaus.
Paris?
No, Menelaus, because in the original, Helen, born of Zeus, she's a child of God, of a god, I think. But she, bunch of Greek suitors, come her way, and she has to, she chooses one, and she chooses Menelaus. She chooses him. And the way that Paris kind of takes her is because Menelaus leaves Paris with her, and Menelaus goes to battle or something like that. He leaves, and that's where Paris gets the like gall to do this. But in this rendition of it, they have a peace treaty. And somehow in that, there's no time given to fully grasp how long this peace treaty lasted, how long Paris was in Greece, like, or Athens, wherever it was.
As if like they showed up that week, to have a peace treaty. He started sleeping with her, like, as soon as he got there, and then he was like, "Okay, we're leaving, and I'm taking you with me."
Right,
like
it almost feels as though they could have built that part of the story up a little more, and it would have braced the rest of it to stand a little better. But they rushed the setup so quickly that the means don't justify the ends.
Right.
And that's like, you never want to really have that in a story. You know, you want, one, they absolutely knew how this was going to end, at least story wise. Maybe the Trojan horse, because one of the things I saw that was talking about the history of it, like, most of the people who were in the last scene were already dead when the Trojan horse happened. And so there's a lot of screwy time stuff happening there. But they still could have made it work. It just, the justification, like it just didn't really make sense.
Yeah, it felt like they didn't know whose story they were telling.
Yeah, that's really good.
This was not a tale from one side or the other.
Right.
It was just like, welcome to the History Channel, where we're going to show you both sides. But like,
yeah,
it was weird, and like the motivations didn't make sense. And it's like, this story seems like it's about Helen, and then she becomes this back character who's
right,
not there at all. And Paris, who is the whole reason why this whole thing is kicking off, and he's barely in it.
Yeah, he's super duper secondary.
And so it's just weird of like, it's really a story. If we were to pick people out, it's Achilles and Hector.
Right.
But even like, neither of them fully get
their character development. Their character development doesn't stick. It doesn't make sense. So I think one of the hard parts about this movie is I feel like it wanted to do like an anti-hero kind of thing, but it really didn't commit to it. And so like this whole story was it was supposed to be, I guess you could say, Achilles, but even within the source material, like Achilles was a factor in the war, but he wasn't like the main character. And this story was like, we should make him a main character. But then they did a really good job of making Troy feel like a good place.
Yeah.
So then the Greeks were the villains?
Yeah, it was a really weird, like, okay, the Greeks are the bad guys. Like, Agamemnon is the bad guy.
Yeah.
And then you have Achilles, who has to serve him, but also hates him.
Right. Which that portion has to serve him, but hates him is true to the original source material. But the imperial king, and the reason I put that in there is because that is not part. There was no empire. There was no. His motivation was not to just take over the world. In the original material, his motivation was to get Helen back, because when she chose Menelaus, all the men made a pact saying that if something ever happens to Helen because she was so beautiful, that everyone would help. And so they were holding true to that pact. And that was the motivation. Yeah, it's old Greek stuff. It's kind of silly, but this one, having him be just like this maniacal imperial king was like, okay, I kind of get it, but why? Like, what are you doing? Like, what?
Yeah, they were trying to create some, I guess, like, to feel like historical realness of these things that is not based off of solely the gods and how they control
right.
How men act to the gods. Like, they tried to move around that, but like, I don't know, like,
Agamemnon was the worst atheist of them all, because he was so hell-bent on like controlling everything, and he had no regard for the gods, while everyone else kind of did have regard for the gods. But they made Achilles like say it, which was weird.
Yeah.
But what were you going to say about Hector?
Oh, I was just going to say, like, it feels like if we had to, and I don't know if we have to because of how this movie's written, but like, Hector feels like the person we should be rooting for.
Yeah.
Like Hector's the guy who's like, he got thrown into this because his brother's an idiot.
Right.
And like, he's trying to serve his dad, who they portray as like a much better king than Agamemnon.
Yeah.
Why is his name gotta be that way? But then it's like, in some ways, Troy is still not good enough for us to be like, yeah, let's root for them.
Yeah. Did the religious priests were the ones that like it was it, and it was so funny because like Hector was basically kind of scoffing at them of that they're putting their faith in that or whatever, and that his dad was listening to them. And I think the more accurate way to do that, as far as, you know, Greek antiquity and mythology and such, would have been Hector should have been mad at the priests because he felt like the priests weren't understanding the gods.
Mm-hmm.
Like that they were taking advantage of their station to bring us to war or bring Troy to war. And I think that would have been like a really good motivation that still fits everything. Like it still makes it feel historically closer. But he was just the same kind of boat as Achilles of being like, oh, these religious folk, they're the ones who are taking us to war.
Yeah. And it's okay to have like, I mean, we in Gladiator and like those types of movies, you have the main character who goes against the grain in some way. And even the people in charge, the king, the emperor, whoever it is, like they're evil. And then the other side is also evil in their own way. And there's this one guy who has a set of morals that we can all like get behind. This movie was trying to do that, but I could never fully get on board with any one character.
Yeah.
And like it tries to make Achilles the main character, but I never like him. And then
yeah,
and it makes Hector his nemesis, and he's the only character that you kind of like.
Well, and so like in the original, oh, that's a fucking name. Patroclus, his cousin.
Yeah, Patrick.
In his original thing, they were like the same age. And Patroclus was like Achilles is right-hand man, and in these battle situations, it was essentially like, if I get injured, I need someone who is really good to be able to get me out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's apparently what he was. Also, they were lovers. Apparently, I don't know if that was in the original Homer, but it was added in other Greek theater. And because Achilles was so hell-bent on not fighting, he actually convinced Patroclus to wear Achilles' armor and go. And I almost think that that's more like, that's a better motivation for Achilles to have the reaction he did, which was to kill Hector and to abuse the body afterwards. the motivation of him feeling guilty because he was the one that sent him out feels stronger than what played out in this film, which in this film, he's the young cousin. The young cousin sneaks and takes the armor, which doesn't make a fucking lick of sense because everyone's like, oh, we thought he was you, sir. And it was like, how? Because you didn't just see him walk out in his armor and then go, well, armor up, guys. Because Achilles, from this story, gave them instructions to not fight.
Right.
So they definitely would not have been in armor yet. And then they would have just seen him go. He definitely wouldn't have said anything to them because he sounded nothing like them.
Right.
And so they were easily bamboozled in a way that shouldn't have worked. And then everyone is like, oh, we thought he was you, sir. We thought he was you. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. One, I can't believe any of them thought they were the same person. He's shorter. He's way leaner. Like, yeah, he's buff. Like, he has muscle, but he's lean. He's skinnier. No way in hell anyone saw him and was like, Achilles. Yeah. I think Hector, maybe, because I don't really think any point Hector would have had a moment to go, I know exactly how this man looks. Like, he would have been in the heat of battle. That makes sense. And for him to, injure him fatally and then to kill him to kind of take him out of his misery, that all makes sense. Achilles' reaction in response to that makes no fucking sense. Where he's like going to the wall and being like, Hector! Hector! Like, that does, to me, that makes no sense. Because there's not enough involvement from Achilles in this move to really bring the guilt there. If anything, I feel like you would see this moment and be mad and be like, all right, I need to win this war or whatever. But to to desecrate Hector's body, that just doesn't make sense.
Right.
But if Patroclus was the same age and Achilles had been like, hey, you wear this, you take this. I'm not going to fight. You go fight. And then he dies. That guilt of, well, it's my fault he died. And then him taking out his own guilt on Hector. Like, him desecrating the body is not because he was mad at Hector, but because he was so ashamed of himself. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But how the route they took to do this doesn't.
It's just like, what?
Yeah, like when it happened in my head, I'm like, okay, I know it's gonna happen. And then when it happened, I was like, wait, that's why? That's what they went with? Ooh, rough.
Yeah.
Achilles and Briseis, whatever her name is, I hated all of that. None of that. I think there is a story of that in the original. I don't know if they became lovers, but how they went about that, the whole time I was like, what are we doing? This feels so forced.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively. Like, he forces himself onto her, and we're just supposed to be like, yeah,
But
hot.
in a romantic way.
Yeah. Oh, that was hot. You know, that's
Yeah.
what they're expecting the audience. The whole time I was there, I was like, ew.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
gross.
Grody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Achilles sucks.
Me.
Hector was good. I thought Eric Bana did a pretty good job. I thought some of his fighting was rough. So the little background story on this one, apparently for the fight scene, Eric Bana and Brad Pitt made a wager, and it was like some amount of money per hit. So if they actually hit the person or hurt them in some way, they would have to pay the other. It was like $10 a hit or whatever it was. And at the end of filming, Brad Pitt owed Eric Bana like $750.
Yeah.
And Eric Bana owed Brad Pitt nothing. Eric Bana was so good he didn't hit him at all. But Eric Bana is supposed to be kind of like Hector is supposed to be the like the best mortal fighter. Or at least that's how this is trying to portray him. And it kind of felt that way, but also didn't.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough to make me go, yeah, that guy's really good.
They needed to do something that was the equivalent of the first time we see Achilles fight.
Right. Everything he
Hector.
does feels like luck.
And the only way that we know that he's a great fighter is through exposition.
Yeah, agreed.
Like everybody's like, "Oh, Hector's amazing."
We needed that. And maybe like another side of like why they're at peace is because Hector was able to defeat an enemy of the Greeks. That could have done it. And there was so much padding. They could have cut it out and put that as something they did. But I thought Eric Bana did a pretty good job. Hector was likable. He was the most noble of characters. And the motivation of Achilles kind of hurts Hector's character because it feels so unceremonious. The desecration makes sense it wouldn't be so bad if Achilles' motivation made sense. But because it didn't make sense, it was just like, we're just doing this to do this because it's in the original material.
And he was the least deserving person out there.
Right.
to warrant that.
Yeah.
And like the amount of people that were just like, yeah, he killed him because he thought he was you. Like everybody was trying
it's so
to be
fucking stupid.
Like he didn't hunt down your cousin to kill him.
Right.
It was an accident. It was your cousin's fault.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Diane,
it took me a while to get used to. Oh, sorry. It took me a while to get used to Eric Bana. But then, like, once I like settled in, I was like, okay, this is the only character that I'm like here for.
Yeah.
Like,
so
actor, character.
To kind of move quick through it, there's only a few people that I kind of believed. Eric Bana was one of them. Peter O'Toole, I did enjoy him. He ended up hating it. Apparently, at the premiere, after the first 15 minutes, he walked out. And he didn't like Wolfgang either.
Interesting.
So, which is really interesting considering that, like, personally, I think character-wise, I enjoyed him. Like, He was a really good king. He was blinded by his own religiosity.
Mm-hmm.
And, it cost him everything. That's a good storyline.
Mm-hmm.
It works.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with it... wait, hold on. Before I get to the problem of that... and so Peter O'Toole... and Brendan Gleeson. I actually believed his character.
Mm-hmm.
I thought his accent was odd, all things considered. But as far as all the characters go that felt like point A to point B to point C to point D, his character did that. Everything made sense.
Mm-hmm.
When he yelled, like, "Is this what you left me for?"
Mm-hmm.
But that line would make sense if the rest of the story built properly.
Yeah, right.
That line felt weird simply because the rest of the story didn't build itself well.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was, she was actually like okay with him, because she chose him, but in a moment of weakness fell for Paris, then it's like fine. But
but the story that they tell us is that they weren't happy together.
Right.
Or like she wasn't happy with him or whatever.
But you need to give like some kind of evidence background for it.
Mm-hmm.
We get nothing. It's straight into they're having an affair.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't really know why. I don't really think we ever get a reason why. They don't make clearly
him seem like a bad guy until he is a bad guy. Like,
and even then, like, for something based in what 3200 BC or 1300 BC, I mean, that's not crazy,
right?
It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Do I agree? Like, is that something people of modernity should be No, it's not a good example of, a good person or whatever, but for the time, for their culture and their way of doing things, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
it's missing enough pieces that even when it makes sense, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I wanted to say with Peter O'Toole, I think there's the scene between him and Achilles, I think is the best scene of the entire movie.
It is. And it's objectively like a really good scene.
It's a good scene.
Yeah.
And like it's also the best performance and also the worst performance that we get from Brad Pitt. But because that's the scene where he does lean against the post to like think about things, and it's like that's such a bad. Anyway,
it's when he cries too, because like we don't have any moment of that, and apparently in the story, Achilles cries a bit, and in this we have none of that. And then in this moment, he just breaks down and cries, and it really feels unearned.
It feels unearned. If you just had that scene by itself with no other context, it is a beautiful scene.
Yeah.
And because you can conclude why Achilles is crying. But when you have it in context of the movie, it doesn't make sense for his character.
Right.
But if you take that scene as itself with no other context, it is so good.
Yeah.
Like the way Peter O'Toole is like begging for his son back.
Right.
And is showing Achilles like this is what a king could be.
Right. That is enough to change him. That is character development.
Yeah. And it's this really great moment. And then him going out and crying, like
it makes sense in that moment.
You know what they're trying to do with that.
Right.
And the there's like a regret to how he treated Hector. And there's a sadness to like losing his cousin. And there's like all of these different elements that are playing into that. And then he says, we'll see each other soon, brother. So like there is a respect that he regains.
Right.
For his enemy.
My only issue with that was I know it would have been, extra dialogue or a little too on the nose, but if he would have just been, like, what have I done? I'm sorry, brother. Like something to that, where he actually like expresses his regret.
Yeah.
I think that could have really put weight into the scene. But because he just leaves it with, I'll see you get soon, brother, or whatever it was, it was immediately like, I get what you're doing, but Also, they wouldn't have done the coins during that time. They didn't have coins in that time period. They would have done the funeral games, and they would have like burned the bodies and stuff like that. But the coins, they didn't have that yet. Interesting. A little tidbit that I learned on the internet. I didn't verify it, so I can't guarantee that it's accurate.
But like that scene is by far the best scene.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed. Fully agreed. I enjoyed that scene, and Peter O'Toole did a wonderful job delivering the line of, I have done something that no one has ever done. I have kissed the hands of the man who killed my son. And that being the revelation of who he is to Achilles was mwah. It's great.
Yeah. So good.
Alrighty. Other characters who were involved that kind of sucked. I love Brian Cox. He doesn't fit. His Agamemnon does not fit in this.
Yeah.
It is too campy for the story they're trying to tell. And I think Brian Cox could have played it more fitting. I think he's adept enough to have done that, but he played it almost like a supervillain. He played, I use Stryker because I thought I was going to use his name from Succession, but then I went with Stryker because it felt paralleled. I was like, if you took how he did Stryker and put that in Troy, it's the same thing. And I think don't think it fit.
Yeah, and I think that's part of what is hit and miss about this, or mostly miss about this movie, is that it didn't feel like there was a consistent I guess performance from character to character.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't like, this is the type of movie that we're making, and so these are the type of characters that we want to have.
Right.
It was just kind of like Brian Cox did his thing. Brad Pitt did his thing. Peter O'Toole did his thing. Right. And they did different things, but none of them really came together to be a cohesive way of telling the story.
Interesting. Yeah, I agree with that. Diane Kruger as Helen, like you said, it felt like it was going to be a story about Helen, and then she immediately gets the rug pulled from under her, and she becomes this very like secondary, third, is it tertiary character?
Tertiary, yeah.
Where one, she's supposed to be the main motivation of this war, then becomes nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to the war.
It's really interesting. There's actually a scene that happens that I don't know if they did this on purpose, but it essentially it is the scene that transitions her from being important to the story to not important to the story. And it is when Paris challenges Menelaus and they're fighting and she's standing at the wall. And then the king says, "Come sit next to me." And as she walks back and sits down, she becomes a tertiary character in that moment.
Because she literally sits in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very fair.
She goes from being the character that is in the front to sitting in the back.
Probably very unintentional, but creates such a visual representation of what is occurring.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's so interesting. So, I mean, Diane, she's a good actor. Just so much left to be desired.
Yeah.
Orlando Bloom as Paris. I fucking hated him. I hate him.
I hate him so
much. What they should have done is, the whole point is that he's supposed to be this great archer. I think that's what they're trying to get. I don't know if that's how it is in the original one. I do know that he is the one who does defeat Achilles, but he does it from the walls of Troy. So he does it from really far. So like, he's a good shot.
Mm-hmm.
They should have kept that. And it should have just been Menelaus overpowered him. Not that Paris was a coward, but that he was overpowered, because then you could say, "Helen, why would you want to be with me? I'm weak." The coward thing doesn't work for how it ends. It doesn't become the motivation, because the motivation later could have been, I may not be strong enough to defeat some of these men, but I have the ability with my archery to defeat them. You just see him like practicing his archery, and then we're supposed to believe he's this fucking, bullseye shot guy.
Yeah. And we don't see that until second half of the movie.
And even then it's like really late in the second half.
Yeah, it just looks like he's practicing.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I mean. He's done nothing to, and that's where that initial scene to show that Hector was an effective fighter. It would have been helpful to see that Paris is an effective archer.
Yeah.
Then it all makes sense. But we have no establishment of that. And then, in fact, we have a retrograde of it in him being a coward. That whole scene made him completely incompetent. So it's hard to believe that suddenly he becomes the savior through his archery. It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense. I do appreciate the line of him being like, "Oh, I'll go do blah, blah, blah." And Helen's just like, "You're so young."
Yeah.
Or whatever it is that she says. It's like, oof.
They didn't do enough with that. Odysseus. He's not in it a whole lot, but worth mentioning.
It's Sean Bean.
Huh?
I said, but it's Sean Bean.
Yeah, it's just Sean Bean. My biggest issue with it is he's kind of plot MacGuffin.
Yeah.
When they need something to happen, just make Odysseus do it. Because in the original one that with when Achilles doesn't want to fight, Agamemnon, desperate, sends 3 men to go talk to him, and those men like offer everything.
Mm-hmm.
And in this, Odysseus just says like, "Hey man, you're gonna let him down," and that's enough. It just feels like, don't make him do that. Yeah, Odysseus has his own issues, but we almost make him incompetent as well. He's lackluster. And the fucking, oh man, the what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And then he just sees a guy like carving a horse. Fuck you guys. No. I fucking hate that. That's,
how do you jump from that?
Yeah, that's some Independence Day connect the dots kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
A fiver. Oh, Dad, you're a genius. It's like a toy horse, a wooden toy horse.
What if we made a giant horse?
Oh.
If the guy was making it, if the guy was whittling the horse, but then like hollowing it out for some reason, and then he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I like to
stick my dick in it."
Like whatever. Hey,
you know what? The ancient Greek were real weird about some of that stuff. So
it's true. But like, if there was something where it's like, oh yeah, I do that because I like to put the gold that we take, like whatever.
Yeah, like
and
he
then
could
have like,
yeah. He said he's building it for his son, and it's like, whenever we travel afar, I like to put sand or rock from where we were into the horse so that's with him.
Yeah.
It could have, it's a little hokey, but a little more motivating and a little more like, oh, that's instructive. Not just a wooden horse.
Yeah.
Like the fact that that no one was, the problem with it was they tried to use religiosity as a crutch when it should have been a tool. And that should have been the moment of, how are we going to get into this? We should just leave. And then one of them, like a priest, should be like, but before we go, we need to, leave a gift for Poseidon. And then it would have been like, what if it's a gift they find? Oh, there we go. And then they could have been like, well, what gift? And then you see the horse, and then it's like, oh, okay. But the fact that they're just build a horse with no other context, and then the exposition from the Trojans to come out and be like, oh, it must be a gift because they felt so bad for destroying the temple. Oh.
Yeah. Well, we should burn it, but it's a gift.
It's a gift. I bet you it cost a lot of money. And I don't think we have a receipt.
We don't have a return. Can't return it. I do wonder if maybe in the extended version, hopefully that they would add more to that part, because that's like the only part that like needed just a little bit more.
And it's annoying because like Odysseus really has no bearing on anything in this fucking movie, and then suddenly he's the one who comes up with a stupid goddamn idea. Like it just, I don't know. It's stupid. It's stupid. This movie's stupid. It has so many stupid things. And the problem is they had the blueprint, not even from the material, just from how they were going about it. They had the blueprint of creating something that was fresh, a fresh take on it that, like I said before, respects the overall themes of the original material, but also was like, fuck it, I'm not going to tell Homer's story because that was 3,000 years ago. Why am I going to do that? Or 2,500 years ago. It's not necessarily like the story did its job, but that's not how we tell stories anymore. They could have still done that.
Yeah.
But they went on so many loopy things and brought too much modernity into it that it just doesn't feel like it's a Greek poem. It doesn't feel like it's the Iliad. It just feels like this weird beach story of some people who don't fucking know where they're from because their accents are all goddamn different.
Yeah. It feels like I'm supposed to know what's happening here, but I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Odysseus is just the character there to kind of move the story along ever so often and to make a quip, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all. You know. Any other characters that you can think of, actors? The only thing I can think of is this movie was marred with drama because they brought a bunch of background actors from Bulgaria, I believe it was, and they were filming in Mexico, and the Bulgarian actors found out that they were only getting paid like $15 a day or an hour or something like that, and the Mexican actors were getting paid $40 an hour, so they went on strike.
Oh,
and it slowed down production, and then they got a $20 raise. Brad Pitt made $17 million.
Yeah.
And they're shortchanging these actors. And it's like this part of another reason this movie sucks is because the whole business side of it was awful.
Was bad. Yeah.
They also had like storms hit a hurricane, and it like destroyed the set. And so everything was pushed back a few weeks because they had to rebuild the set.
Bummer.
That was a Batman Forever reference. Now we look at it. Metacritic gave it a 56. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 53. Rotten Tomato audience, 74. IMDb audience, 7.3. Tristan, what's the positive review?
The Chicago Tribune gave it a 100. Crazy. In a league with Hollywood's top historical epics, ancient or otherwise. It's stunningly handsome. It's stunningly handsome film. Is there a word missing?
Yeah, it's a
stunningly handsome film with an equally stunning cast and engrossing story.
That was the typo from the website. So,
did this person get paid to do this? Because that feels like a.
It feels like paid for content. You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
L.A. Weekly gave it a 30. The thunderous clashes between armies of computer-generated Trojans and Mycenaeans, I forget how to say that, when they do arrive, feel decidedly unepic, as though we were watching a child's toy box war between plastic figurines, which makes them perfectly in line with the rest of Petersen's artless approach. Ouch.
Yeah.
I don't agree fully with like the visuals, but I'm not fully against.
Yeah, I think like certain things that they could have done is like we're supposed to feel the like, oh, when Achilles and his men come, like things are about to change. And we don't get that feeling when we see them.
Yeah.
And that should be the thing that's like, when we see that armor and that group of guys, that we're like, oh, things are about to go crazy right now. But like,
Right.
we're told that's what happens, but it doesn't matter.
It needs to be in a situation where Achilles' contributions feel supernatural, though they can easily be explained by strength and talent.
Mm-hmm.
But
I just realized
we don't
what
get
scene
that.
was supposed to be Hector's scene of being like, oh, he's a good fighter, when he was fighting the giant dude.
Yeah, but he's kind of on his heels the whole time.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's like, I think that's supposed to be the scene that shows us, but it didn't feel like he really won that fight.
Right. Agreed.
He
lucked
survived
out.
that fight.
Yeah. Right. Which again, it feels like all of Hector's victories are luck rather than he is a skilled fighter who earns the respect that is given. But upon our own observations, it all feels like luck.
Mm-hmm.
Lame.
All
right, Tristan.
Yeah, we got to give this thing a grade, don't we?
Yeah, and I'm burning hot. So I don't feel like I should give that. I don't know if it is. I don't know. I'm going to start it off. I'm not going to watch this fucking movie again.
Never watch it again. And I only want the super cut of like, here are
the things added
that are extended.
Yeah.
But I don't want to watch the whole
I want to watch the DVD extras. I don't want to watch the actual director's cut.
Yeah. I think it's an F.
I think so too. It fucking sucks. This movie sucks.
Because I don't think there's anything, like, there are a few glimmers of something, whether it's in the visual or like in a couple of moments of like, hey, the CG was good in that shot. But like, other than that, there's nothing that saves this movie.
Yeah. Peter O'Toole can only do so much with his excellent acting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he can't. Well, if this movie was 40 minutes shorter
and
that scene was still there, maybe it could have helped it. Maybe it could have saved it. But that scene is what? 5 minutes?
Yeah.
And this movie is so fucking long that 5 minutes of the film can't redeem it. Like, it can't.
Yeah.
It either has to be like the best full straightforward acting I've ever seen, or it has to be like the funniest fucking scene in the world. Because then you can at least be like, that was really good. That really
lived with that moment. Yeah.
It was just, in this film, that is objectively the best scene. It is objectively the best scene, and it is objectively a good scene. Is it the best scene I've ever seen? No. And if it was, then maybe it could have had more weight. But because it's just the best scene in this film, the best scene in this film done well by a really good actor, that should meet the expectation of what it's supposed to be. It doesn't raise it. It just kind of like the movie's bad, and then it goes up for a moment, and then it goes back down. So the average is still bad. Yeah, I'd probably say F.
I think so.
I think so too. I feel bad because it does seem as though there were some people who, tried their best, gave it the old college try, but no siree, Bob. Oh, I screwed this up, didn't I? I didn't. bugger. Oh,
no.
hold on. Nope. 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 Hold on.
Oh, what did you do?
I know. I screwed this up. Sorry. We have like a spreadsheet and I did not do this right. There we go.
How did you? Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, because you didn't update it from
Right. Correct.
what we were supposed to watch.
But now I can give it a grade. There we go.
There we go.
And I'm still. This is a lot of admin stuff that I should have done a different time.
We could have been doing this later. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Anyway, Tristan, I'm sorry I made you watch that. But thanks for doing it anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Folks, I mean, you can watch it. It has Brad Pitt's ass in it. I don't know if that's enough to make it worth it. It's fucking long.
We get full ass.
No, we didn't. We get side ass, but we get both sides at different times. So it's like whole if you cut it together. If you use your imagination, it's whole. Anyway, review those rewinds. We'll see you next time. Bye.